Well, the biggest news in cricket for the past few weeks has been the impasse between the BCB and the ICC regarding the participation of the Bangladesh cricket team in the ongoing T20 World Cup, which is being co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. The Bangladesh Cricket Board had announced that they won't be travelling to India to play their matches, and their matches should be shifted from India to Sri Lanka, citing security concerns. Citing the rising political tensions between the two countries, the BCB said that the environment in India would probably be unsafe for both their players and their fans, and hence it would be better if Bangladesh plays their matches in Sri Lanka. The ICC let them know that according to their internal investigation or whatever knowledge they have regarding the preparation and the ground reality of the T20 World Cup to be held in India, there are no logical concerns about the safety of both Bangladesh and the fans of the Bangladesh team who were planning to travel to India to attend the matches. And hence there isn't really a question about shifting the matches from India to Sri Lanka, and so the BCB's request of the matches being shifted to Colombo or any other venue in Sri Lanka was outrightly rejected. After rejecting the BCB's plea for their matches to be shifted out of India, the ICC gave them a bit of time to reconsider, and after a meeting between the member nations, all the test playing nations and all the other nations participating in the T20 World Cup, a majority voted in favor of the matches to be played in India. Only Pakistan and Bangladesh, the PCB and the BCB, decided to vote against it. Obviously, they have their reasons for it, and we all know what the reasons are. Apparently security concerns. But whatever the reasons might be, the BCB stood to their ground, fair enough, and decided that the Bangladesh cricket team won't be travelling to India. Now, that snowballed into bigger troubles yet, because the ICC stood their ground as well, unfortunately for the BCB, and decided to scrap Bangladesh's participation from the ongoing tournament and replace them with Scotland. In a statement by the ICC, they announced, and I quote, "No credible or variable security threat to the Bangladesh national team, officials or its supporters in India." After a 24-hour deadline in which the ICC asked the BCB to respond was over, the governing body for the sport promptly replaced Bangladesh with Scotland, the highest ranked team not to be part of the tournament. So this will be the first time when a team has been removed entirely from the tournament. There has been some previous accounts where a particular team has refused to travel to a particular country or a particular city and not participate in a match, and has obviously forfeited that match. But this is the first instance when a team has been completely removed from participating in a tournament. Now let's look into the past instances where teams have refused to travel to a host nation or a city and has hence forfeited their matches. One such instance of a team refusing to travel to a host nation was during the '96 World Cup, when both Australia and West Indies decided to not travel to Sri Lanka. So when Australia and West Indies refused to travel to Sri Lanka, India and Pakistan sent a joint team to play with the host nations as a sign of solidarity. Similarly, during the 2003 World Cup, England refused to travel to Zimbabwe due to a standoff between their respective governments, aka Tony Blair versus Robert Mugabe. The heads of state of both Zimbabwe and the United Kingdom were involved in a massive beef, which led to England not travelling to Zimbabwe for their match during the 2003 World Cup. Similarly, during the same tournament, New Zealand refused to travel to Kenya and forfeited their match, which favoured the host quite well because in that tournament, Kenya had made it to the semi-finals. New Zealand cited security concerns because there was a bomb blast a few days ago in Mogadishu. A similar standoff to one between the BCB and the ICC took place during the 2009 T20 World Cup. The relations between Zimbabwe and England still at a low point. The Zimbabwe players weren't sure whether they would be issued visas. The World Cup being hosted by England. One flashpoint followed another till a compromise was reached, Zimbabwe deciding against travelling to the UK, but they would receive the full participation fees. A win-win situation as put forward by their board. They were replaced in the tournament by Scotland, who it seems is the ICC's favourite super sub. The most recent instance of a team refusing to travel to a host country was India during the Champions Trophy to be hosted by Pakistan, which took place last year. India had naturally declined to travel to Pakistan, and after much back and forth, it was decided that during ICC tournaments, neither India would travel to Pakistan or Pakistan would travel to India. Instead, a neutral venue would be arranged. Just like during the Champions Trophy, Pakistan travelled to Dubai to face India. India are set to travel to Sri Lanka to take the field against Pakistan in the ongoing T20 World Cup. But a new flashpoint emerged when the Pakistan government, in a statement, declared that their team won't be travelling to India and would hence be forfeiting their match, which would mean significant financial losses for the ICC, the India-Pakistan match being their biggest money churner. The ICC was obviously quite miffed at the PCB. They asked the PCB to reconsider. The Pakistan captain Salman Ali Agha, in a statement, clarified that the decision taken by the PCB was in response to a directive by the Pakistan government itself. The ICC in response declared that if Pakistan indeed decided to boycott the India match, they would be forced to take necessary legal actions or could even impose financial sanctions on the PCB and the Pakistan cricket team. The water was turning murky with each passing hour as the day of the match approached, and we were plagued with more questions than answers. What happens if India and Pakistan both reach the finals? Will they forfeit the match then? It initially appeared that Pakistan would stand their ground and forfeit the match. Declaring the decision comes as a show of solidarity with the BCB, who in their opinion were unfairly removed from the ongoing World Cup. We should remember that all this fiasco started when Mustafizur Rahman, the Bangladeshi seamer picked by KKR during the last IPL auction, was released by the franchisee after the BCCI requested them to let him go. The ICC and the PCB had been trading jabs and jibes, with the PCB being the first to blink, regressing from their position of boycotting the match. So the India-Pakistan match will go on as scheduled on the 15th of Feb to be held at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. The PCB were given the green light to participate in the India-Pakistan match by the Pakistani government after the Sri Lankan Cricket Board or the SLC stepped in, along with the Sri Lankan government and the Sri Lankan president himself. Sources tell us that over a 30-minute phone call, the Sri Lankan president convinced the Pakistani PM that the show must go on. It has been reported that the PCB during the negotiations tried to add a lot to the bargain, from post-match handshakes to bilateral cricket to a tri-series involving India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, all of which of course was rejected by the ICC, who informed the PCB that such demands could not be fulfilled since it's out of their purview. Cricket is a funny game, and mixing it up with politics makes for an even funnier spectacle. Now, whether the match will live up to the hype, well, we will have to wait and watch to find out.